All right. All right. So, good morning, everyone. I'm here on the Team Double E podcast, and that's me, Ed English, Double E. I'm here with my good friend and partner in crime, I guess. I don't know, Mr. Nick Krem. Welcome, Nick.
Thanks for having me, Ed. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see you and the Sunset Seeker back there.
The Sunset Seeker. Yep.
Woo.
And then so Nick is just phenomenal. Yeah, in my opinion, he is probably the most successful young entrepreneur that I know. And I met him through Honey Badger Nation and our affiliation with EXP. All align together, all collaborate together. It's just phenomenal. I wouldn't even know you, Nick, if it wasn't for that. And so I want Nick to share his story because it's really interesting how he's come from, a 20-something-year-old to now 27 and almost 28, and has built two companies, ran one company, right, and then built two more. So I'll let him tell the story. So how did it start? How did it start?
So no, thanks for the introduction, Ed. And it's great just meeting so many great people here within this group. And for us, for me, it really started call center, where I was a day away from taking a job at a factory or warehouse. I was about to be starting on Monday, and I knew I didn't want to do it. I knew that warehouse job wasn't for me. But then I got a call to work at a call center. And I don't know what it was, but I was like, yeah, this is what I need to do. Never did a sales job before, never was in a call center, didn't even know anything about real estate, but I just felt like it was the right thing to do. So, from there, I started calling 15 hours a day, 8 a.m. on the East Coast to 8 p.m. on the West Coast. You name a value proposition, I pitched it. You name a CRM, I was in the back end of it. From there, started, got up to essentially running the company, getting all the clients, bringing people in, training the ISAs. There's actually a funny story in there too. So when I was I was on the phones, I started doing a little bit of management, but I was on the phones, and there was this team up in Canada. You might know him now, Brandon Town. Are you familiar with that name?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Brandon Town was on a team, and that's how I first met Brandon too. So that's when I was I was like 22, 23, and the team hired the company to coach them, like over the phones. They had an ISA they want to coach. And they did that because one of the guys who actually taught me, this guy's name was Ryan, he was supposed to be the coach. The night before the coaching session started, Ryan quit.
Oh boy.
Just completely quit. So then Matt, like the other owner, his name is Matt. He looks around. He's like, hey, does anybody else here want to coach? And he had on the Zoom. There are some people in the office, and everyone was just sitting there quiet. I'm like, screw it, I'll do it. And I was about the least experienced person there, but I was crushing it on the phone. I was diving in deep. So time-wise, I was the least experienced. But the amount of work that I put in within those first 6 months, I put it against anybody's work they did as the first 6 months as an ISA. Yeah. So you know what? I literally stayed up all night, going over scripts, coming up with lessons plans, coming up with all these different things. What are we going to do week 1, week 2, week 3? Came up with everything overnight. And my first call, I was so nervous because he came on and the guy was bald. He wasn't even that much older than me. He must have been like 33. But I was so nervous that I told him my camera didn't work because I didn't want him to see how young I was. And I kind of saw his face like, your camera doesn't work. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, it just doesn't work. But, that was one of my first, and then I ended up doing such a good job with the guy's named Greg that I ended up coaching the rest of the team on calls, scripting. That's how I met Brandon through that too. But that was one of my first kind of getting uncomfortable moments.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that call center was run by Al Stasic, right?
Yeah, Al Stasic and Matt Milia. So those were the co-owners at the time, the owners at the time. Al was kind of the relationships, and Matt was the sweat equity. He was the one that was a great ISA from Al before, which turned into this company because they were crushing it over the phones.
So that was before Al joined EXP then, or right around the same time?
So when I first started, it was before Al joined EXP.
Yeah,
and then So then towards the end of it is when Al joined, and we started kind of going to some of the masterminds, which is what happened when we went to Key West, when Al literally bought my ticket and snuck me in this mastermind down in Key West.
That must have been a turning point. That's for sure.
Man, that was a turning point. I went back, quit the job I had, started my own company, moved back home, sold everything I had, and we started our own company because the people in the room just made you believe that, like that. The stories they were telling were they had to cancel their Netflix subscription just to get by. Yep. Somebody else had to live out of their car because they made a big investment into a building they wanted, and they had to move their entire family into their car for a week. So there was like little things that just show that, these people aren't special. There's no superpower that any of them hold. They just believe in themselves more than others. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do the same thing.
Well, I believe in mindset. That's for sure. Mindset is everything. Yeah. So obviously you learned that. And I know you believe in who you're aligned with and who you're who you're in business with matters. And
absolutely.
So being in a room with these guys, it kind of reminds me of like I'd never been aligned or in business with so many of these top people before in my life, and I never had that same mentality that you have, that you were open-minded enough to go there and come home and start your own company. So that's a true entrepreneurial spirit right there.
It was definitely tough. It wasn't easy, especially because the first 5 months you don't really make money in your first 5 months. You're really just spending it. And it's not even like I started with a loan or started with all this. When I said I sold everything I had, I think my car sold for like $500 at the time. So selling my car wasn't this big deal.
But you moved back home and you said, or maybe you're still there or whatever, but you decided I'm going to stay home. I'm going to live home until I can get out there. And, that's still a sacrifice. But you watch Shark Tank, right?
Yeah, from time to time.
Well, yeah, these guys come on, like you said, the first 5 months, you don't make anything. Well, these guys, some of them have been in business for years and they're still not turning a profit. It's like, but they're ready to break. They're ready to break, and that's why they're there trying to get this extra boost.
Right.
So it's interesting. So the first company was that Content Cardz.
That was Content Cardz. And funny story about that is, so like what we were doing before that is my brother and I, my brother is my business partner. And yes, he's my blood brother. Some people ask if it's my brother or not. I'm like, yeah, it's my real brother, both same mom and dad. But like what we did is we were running events for Al and Jay across the country, and like our big thing was Al, Jay, Mike. It was when we would fill the room. So running the back end systems marketing. So naturally, when we decided to grow our company, we said, you know what, let's do in-person events. That's what we know how to do. We just gained all these connections in Key West. So we had a plan where we reached out to about 16 of the people that we just met there, and we're going to go do events across the country. Did we know how we were going to get there? Nope. Did we know that it was going to work? Absolutely. Not really. But we knew if we want to get our name out there, what we've seen done successfully before, following success principles, going across the country, leveraging people's authority, bringing them something of value, and we get something of value in return. We were about to be doing 4 events in 4 days in New York City. My first time ever in New York City, too. We're doing it with Vincent Koo, big name up there in New York City, right? Koo. And we were going to be doing the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Long Island in 4 days, just doing events. 3 days before we were going to go to New York, we were literally, I still don't even know how we were going to get to New York. So we were just probably going to drive just to get there. And then COVID hit.
Oh.
So our entire business model and all we just put our eggs in a basket, that entire basket gone. The entire business model gone overnight. And then we just sat there and we're like, you know what? I pouted for about a good 30 minutes. Not going to lie, Ed. I was throwing things. I was angry. I'm like, how is this? Like, why is this happening right now?
Yeah.
And then we were like, wait, what if we did this virtually? So I don't know. Do you remember Live with Leaders, Ed?
Absolutely. I was on it.
Yeah. So Live with Leaders, we ended up doing a live broadcast and a live mastermind. I'll tell you what, I've seen virtual masterminds. I don't think I've seen one done like ours. We had commercials in between. We had sponsors. We had intro videos. People are mic'd up. Like we did a pretty badass virtual event. And through that, we gained nationwide exposure. just because we made that slight millimeter shift. We made that shift before a lot of people. And then since then, we made it one of our goals to stay ahead. I mean, just StreamYard here, that's something that I believe we introduced into the real estate community,
Well,
utilizing StreamYard. And I see everybody using StreamYard now.
Well, you're the one who told me about StreamYard.
Yeah.
And you're the one who got me on video. Like, I wasn't doing video. I wasn't doing video. And I started with when I came over to EXP in 2019.
Yeah.
I had like probably, I don't know, maybe 50 friends on Facebook. That's it.
Yeah.
Now I have like 4,000 friends on Facebook, most of which are agents, which, I believe I can help a lot more agents.
Yeah.
With Team EE and the collaboration and the alignment.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to kind of connect with them.
Absolutely.
But your story even has nothing to do with real estate, even though it does. It's a product that you introduced. And I have your content card too.
Yeah, at English.me.
At English.me is content cards. So digital business card, guys out there, and it puts everything in one place. And but then from there you continue to grow, and like Live with Leaders, that was an all-day event. Like,
it was about 9 hours. Yeah.
That's not an easy event to put on.
No, man. Yeah. And at the time, it was just me and my brother. So, like, we didn't have this whole back end, videographers, graphic designers, just support staff, admin that we do now. So it's just me and my brother. We're like shooting with 16 different speakers, corralling 16 different sponsors. It was definitely I'll tell you what, those were some sleepless nights back to back to back, putting it all together, especially the last couple of days getting it all together.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So then from there, Krem Global was formed, formed out of the whole thing, right?
Yeah, and Krem Global was just more so of, one of our mentors, Jay Kinder, always told us solve problems, don't create shiny objects. So we kept sitting, I kept getting in rooms where we heard more and more problems. We kept seeing where the industry was going, and we made discernments as to how can we make this as simple as possible for real estate agents to make the transition into video, into StreamYard. And it wasn't about creating the coolest looking course. It wasn't about creating the shiniest object. It was, how can we actually solve a problem? And one of the biggest problems I think are out there is, all these people are telling real estate agents to download this video editing app. Use this video editing app, download this onto your phone. And I believe any time spent away from becoming the best dang real estate agent is money lost.
Yeah.
Time lost. Are we doing this right now? Yeah. But how simple is it for you to put this together now, Ed?
Oh, this is simple, this part.
Yeah.
But I don't do the video. I was telling you before I got on about the Great Loop on the Sunset Seeker. I'm not going to sit around and edit videos. No, I'm just going to.
And so many people are trying to teach agents to do that because, number one, it keeps them buying courses. It keeps them saying, oh, there's a new tool. There's a new tool. And there's so much time wasted trying to make real estate agents online influencers instead of keeping them in the real estate position and people stepping up and saying, I'm going to make this life simpler for you. Here's what you need to do. And when you want to go to the next step, hire someone to do it.
Right.
Like that is what leverage is. If you're spending time editing videos right now, you are doing something wrong as a real estate agent. And I firmly believe that.
Yeah, I know you do. We've talked about that before. Yeah. And I can see where it comes from because I am old school, my oldest kid's older than you. She's 28 already. So I'm 62.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing, Nick, when I was out there hustling in the beginning and for the first, 10, 15 years, nobody had teams. Nobody had, we did everything ourselves.
Yeah.
So I'm used to that. And some people think, oh, you got to do it yourself. And then there's the other side of me. That's the bad side, is that I was one of those cheap realtors. I wouldn't say I was always a cheap realtor. I can't say, but to hire somebody else to do something, it's also that control thing. Some people are I want it done my way. So if I hire
Yeah.
a buyer's agent or an admin, I got to teach them to do it my way, or
Yeah.
because I don't want it done their way. And that's not the right way to look at it now that I see the big picture of these businesses that are growing, these huge teams that are, all across the country and
Right.
other countries too.
Well, and I think that's, when it comes to video editing and that side of things too, I think that's the difference between ego and brand. Most people get those intertwined all the time. Or it's like, ooh, my hair's not right. Ooh, I'm squinting in that video. Ooh, there's so many things that the ego comes into it, where all of a sudden, like, people want their videos to be perfect.
Right.
And when I ask people, are you perfect? Like, well, no. Then why is your video perfect? That's not you. That's not your brand. You are portraying an image that will never be lived up to. You are portraying an image that, if anything, scares people off, because nobody will ever say they're perfect. And if they are, they're lying.
Right.
So when you are portraying perfect videos all the time, people are going to be intimidated. They won't feel like you're just like them.
Right. And it's not duplicatable either. It's like,
no.
Now, like, I started out that way because, but you told me just start, first of all, to start with video, you just start with, I know I got the green screen.
Yeah, the phone right here.
Start with the phone. Yeah. Start with the phone and, just send video text messages to people, right? So
video text.
How the hell do you send a video text message? I'm like, I didn't even know there was one. Like, so yeah, you just push the button, right? And you can send a video text message. And that's how I got my feet wet. And then I started doing some interviews. Went out for a while with surgery, but then got back into it again. But StreamYard automatically, guys, it automatically goes from StreamYard to YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook live all at the same time. So if you do it live, you can't fix your hair, and you can't worry about scratching your nose, and you can't worry about saying the wrong thing or not finding the right words. Hey, shit happens, right? It's like,
it does. And we like the imperfection is the connection. Those little things that you want to edit out are most likely the exact reason someone's going to want to work with you. So when you think it's, but my brand, this doesn't represent my brand. Yes, it does. Because if you did it, you are the brand. You are the brand.
And in the beginning, I used to lock the dogs out of the room and all. And now I just let them come in. They come in barking. Oh, well. Now somebody that loves dogs might want to work with me.
I'm already thinking of what kind of dogs you got, Ed.
They're sleeping. They're laying.
What kind of dogs do you have, Ed?
I have two dogs. I have a black lab. He's half black lab and half Australian Shepherd. So he has too much energy. So he's always got to be going. It's funny. I think of you but I never video it. I think of you because I know you're into sports and all, and football, and like he dives into the pool to get the stick. Like he leaps across the pool to go get the stick. And it's like go out for a pass. I remember with the frisbee, I used to just of course he chews the shit out of the frisbee, so kind of hard to keep a frisbee. But I would say I would have him come in and then go out for the pass and then talk as far as I could, and he gets under it. He's amazing at catching stuff. The other one is sweet as pie, and she loves the bow of the boat. She sits right on the bow all the time.
Is that right?
That's Riley. She looks like a golden doodle, but she's basically a hound dog.
Are they going to be coming on the loop with you?
Oh yeah. She's I'll get some videos and post them out on my Facebook for you to check out. Because we had to do a DNA test to find out what she was, and she's basically a mutt.
Is that right?
But she's cute as hell, So what? She looks cute.
I love it.
So and sometimes other people are doing a video, and the dog's barking. Like if somebody rang the doorbell right now, they'd freak out.
That's
the way it is, right? That's what they're supposed to do.
That is, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So Krem Global now is in how many countries?
So right now we're in 13 in all 50 states.
13 countries.
13 countries in all 50 states.
So guys, this guy's 27 years old, and he's running a company in 13 countries and all 50 states. I mean, that just shows you want to do something, you put your mind to it, you can do it, man. You got to have the right mindset, and you got to believe in yourself. You got to have that confidence.
Yeah,
So,
and it's I'm reminded of this. I learned this but right before I made the jump into doing what we're doing. One of my mentors told me something about the law of the lid. There's this thing called the law of the lid, and then I looked it up. So what it was is fleas can jump like 2 to 3 feet in the air, right? It's something crazy like that. But what the scientists did is they put them in a 6-inch jar, and it was a plastic jar, and they would jump and they would hit their heads 6 inches every time. And then the scientists, after about a week of doing that, removed the lid of the jar, and you know how high they jumped?
6 inches.
6 inches, because they believed the lid was there. Yeah. And then in life, what kind of lid are you putting on yourself? Because there is not one. I can tell you that right now. And then Jay looked at me. He's like, some people believe there's a lid and some people don't. He's like, I don't think you believe there's a lid. I was like, shit, you're right. So what am I still doing? So, for me right there, it was, I get rid of this invisible lid.
Yeah. Jay doesn't have a lid.
No, no lid. No, but that trick, if you don't believe there's a lid, you have to also be conscious enough to say, what lid do I believe is still there? Or because, even when you think it's open, maybe I'm on a 20-foot jar now. And I think like, man, we're going so high. It's like, man, what's that next lid? What's that next lid? What's that next thing, the limiting belief I could be telling myself? Because we harm ourselves from time to time. I think that first one is that 6-inch. What is that lid that we all put on ourselves? Saying this is as high as I can go. This is as high as somebody of my ability can go. Somebody who looks like me can go. Because there's no lid. It's just the one that we put on ourselves.
Right. You're doubting yourself. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how you get some of your motivation and your drive, because you're always pumped up. Now, like I know part of it came from Grant Cardone, because tell us the story of Grant Cardone, because I read the 10X rule, and it's right up on my shelf there. I know you did, and then you went to his events, and I went to his office.
Yeah. No, I think part of it comes from that, but part of it comes from so Ed, I don't know if you know this about me, but this is going back in my story a little bit. So I only played 1 year of high school football, right? And Ohio is a pretty good football state, if you know that. So and I ended up getting an all-state the 1 year I played. Went to college to play some football, and I dropped out after 1 year. Yeah. And the reason I'm bringing that up is, I left something on the field. I loved the game. I loved doing it. I loved where I was at. But, I partied. I didn't have my mind right. Yep. And I would tell people for years, oh, I just didn't love it. Oh, they beat the love of the game out of me and all these things. And it was a lie. And I left something on the field. I didn't give my all to something that I loved. That was the worst feeling ever. Right. And ever since then, I've never wanted to feel that way again. So every morning when I wake up, I remember that feeling. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen today. I'm not going to say, with this opportunity that we have now, with what we're doing now, I'm not going to be able to, I'll tell you what, win, lose, draw, there's no losing, because we won't give up.
Right.
I just simply refuse to quit. I refuse to leave something on the field, which means I always got a little bit more left in the tank. Even when you think you're on E, I got a little bit more left in the tank. A little bit more left in the tank. I refuse to quit. So no matter what, I know that feeling. It's one of the worst feelings ever, giving up on yourself. Ooh. Yeah. Even saying that gives me the shivers. Giving up on yourself is one of the worst feelings I've ever experienced. So what keeps me going every day? Knowing that feeling and knowing that I never want to feel it again.
Yeah, that answers that question spot on. That was it,
man.
That was it. So so as far as I guess we'll try to wrap it up, but I believe that, first of all, you can always learn something new, and you always got to keep learning and always got to keep growing. And that's why I was open to learn from this 27-year-old. A lot of 62-year-olds would be like, this guy he's not going to tell me what to do. I'm not going to listen to this guy.
And that helped me back for a while, especially when I started this business when I was 24, 23, 24. So even now, 27, you still get that from some people. But I realized this. if people look at age or as like somebody younger or has been in the business as long as me, I know that like by those standards. So if I've been in the business 15 years and you've been in it 30, you won't listen to me then. So I started looking at it as those are their limiting beliefs on themselves. It has nothing to do with me.
Exactly.
So if you guys are young out there and you guys are worried about your age being a factor or people not taking you serious, the right people will take you serious and the wrong people won't. Screw the wrong people. Those people, I left them in the dust. I did not try and win them over. I did not try and give it any time of day. Did not even give it a second thought because I'm like, I'll just go keep finding the right people.
And
the
you
people
should
who want to grow. Yeah, the people who want to grow always want to learn. They don't want to learn. They're not my people.
Right. So yeah, I mean, it was just about 3 years ago. Now when I met Jay Kinder and I started reading these books, and I've got one right here. What did I do with it? Hold on, it's underneath here. I got one right here. This Think and Grow Rich, right? Oh my God, I can't get it.
Yeah. There it is.
Think and Grow Rich. So I bought this book before I was in real estate, and that was 32 years ago. That was 1990. Yeah. And here's my problem that I'm going to fix at 62 years old, right? Because it's never too late, right? To learn. You know, you heard the story of Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? Didn't he start after failing he started in his 50s.
Years. Yeah.
So I opened this book, right? And I was in this Shackley Vitamins. I was selling Shackley Vitamins while I was working at the factory that you didn't want to work at. That's where I was working, right?
No way.
Oh yeah, I was running a printing press, you know,
oh, wow.
Which was a good job for a blue collar job, but it was like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
It was wearing me out, you know. Yeah. So I used to go to their meetings, and I know I bought this book because I was in Shackley. I know because I saw Zig Ziglar at their meetings and people like that, you know, like the motivational, you know, the big rah-rah conventions and stuff. So I can tell you right now, if you look at this book, which you're not going to be able to see, but the second half of the book, the pages are like brand new. Yeah. But the first half of the book, they're worn to shit. You know why? I never finished the damn book.
Wow.
But I read the first half multiple times.
Changed your life. Yeah.
But now I have I'm finishing this book.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of the things, and it's funny because I go right into, I'm reading the first couple chapters or whatever, and here it's got a dog ear on it. What's the dog ear say? It's the 6 steps that turn desires into gold. So I dog-eared that, like, I don't know, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's like, so learning is, you know, you want to be, you know, we're looking for people in Team Double E and Join EXP.
Yeah.
That are humble, hungry, and coachable. They want to learn because, you know, I mean, I could have just faded off into sunset, but EXP came along and kind of changed my outlook.
Absolutely.
You know? So, and you changed, you know, a lot of people's outlooks on just video alone and social media. So what are your beliefs? Tell me your beliefs.
I believe who you partner with matters, you know, and it's not just who you immediately surround yourself with, being able to get with people all over the country, you know, don't limit yourself just to the people you can touch. You know, who you surround yourself with matters, works with in work, outside of work. You know, you can be surrounded with the best people. I've seen it because I've seen people partner with the same people I am, but the difference is who you partner with outside of that. I think that's a big one. Who you partner with in life matters. I believe time is your most valuable asset. And, you know, and I say that by, you know, with the same belief that real estate agents shouldn't be editing their own videos. Real estate agents shouldn't be buying social media courses. Real estate agents shouldn't be doing these things. And on top of that, too, time is your most valuable asset. What you do with your time is important. What do you do on the weekends? I call myself a weekend warrior because on the weekends, I'm working even freaking harder because I know other people aren't. So it motivates me even more to get in work, to do more. I know people are going out and partying. I'm not. I'm staying inside. We got a house with 3 single guys in it. You think it'd be the rowdiest house in the block. We're the quietest house in the block. We're the quietest one. We're the hardest working ones in this entire family community. Yeah, they saw us moving in and they got scared. I saw it in some people's eyes. Like, oh gosh, like what is this? But in reality,
they probably were scared. I know.
But yeah, like these guys with video cameras, all this equipment, like all these things, like all of a sudden Amazon's here every day. Like we're loading up this house. They thought parties are about to be coming. No, we're working.
We're working. Yeah.
And, you know, I believe the agent who dominates social media will dominate the next 15 years of real estate.
That's what I wanted you to say, my friend. Yeah. I knew that one was in there.
Yep. And it's a firm belief, because once you own the mind show, you own the market share. People are more apt to going online. You could be the best agent, but if you are not the best seen and the most well-known will beat the best agent every single time. The most well-known will beat the most best agent every time. Most best. That's Triple Graham. Yeah. Best agent. Yeah.
And I know you believe this too. I believe as a real estate agent, you know, you need to focus. Your personal brand needs to be your focus, because if you're in your own business, you're the CEO and the CFO and you know of your own business. You need to look at it that way. It's not your broker.
Yeah.
EXP doesn't limit that.
Yeah.
You know, not your broker.
You're either building your own brand or you're either building your own business or you're building somebody else's.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You know, I just saw Go Bethke say that on Instagram yesterday. She said, if you're not building your own dreams, then somebody's going to hire you to build theirs.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's simple.
Like, yeah, I know. That was like, holy shit. That was like so many.
It really is.
I mean, I have never seen the level of people that I've met through this affiliation of Honey Badger Nation and EXP overall, because there are obviously some people that I've met in EXP aren't honey badgers, but honey badgers are the best. And you're a true honey badger. You're not the OG. You're not the OG. But, you know, Jay Kinder, probably Michael Reese, Al Stasic, they're the OGs. But you're a true honey badger. You learned from the best. You learned from the honey badger. And it's all about application. You know, it's about it's about, you know, talking the talk, like like walking the walk, you know.
And I believe it comes back to, like you were saying too, you're either building your own dreams or you believe in the lid.
You believe in the lid.
You believe in the lid. Dreams don't have lids, you know.
Well, that's right. Let's close it out with that.
If you believe in the lid, then you're going to be building someone else's dream.
That is absolutely right. So you got things, you're rocking and rolling, and I wish you the best of luck. And, you know, we're in some masterminds together, as we will continue to be. And, you know, and if you need help out there, or you need help with getting a hold of Nick Krem, just message me. I'm going to put your sign up for content cards in my comments. So my affiliate link. So if they want to check out content cards, they can just click on that link in the comments, and because that makes it simple too. You know, it has a one place that you can send people to. I remember you saying when you run into somebody at the restaurant, you just say, go to edenglish.me. You don't have to you can give them a business card.
Makes it super simple.
Yeah, you can put Calendly in there. They can book appointments for you right into the app. So all right, my friend. Thanks for getting on today, and
absolutely
keep on crushing it. You got more countries to get to. EXP's in 21 now.
You're right.
22 now. I forget, because now there's a new one, and
they're just up in Chile. Yeah,
and there's another one coming around the corner. So you got some more countries to get into.
You're right.
Come on, man.
You're right, man. I'm slacking.
Don't be a slacker, and watch out for that lid.
Yeah,
there's no lid over Chile.
I like it, Ed. I appreciate you having me on here, brother.
All right, man. Take care.
Yep. We'll see you
out, everybody.